Hi everyone, this is CA Shivani and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, we are going to discuss some very important tips to clear CA Final Group 1 in November 23. In this video, we are going to discuss some very important tips to clear CA Final Group 2 in November 23. So let's start with SCMP. So SCMP or costing feels like a practical subject, but honestly it is partly practical and partly theory. This paper is more of an analytical paper. So here the ICAI would test your analytical skills. In SCMP it is very important for you to understand the concept because here the analysis part carries a lot of weightage. If you don't understand the concept, you will never be able to analyze the question and pass your judgment over it. So as in when you're reading the module, you need to understand the concept as well as mark the keywords. Your next step would be to solve all the questions and also write the analysis part. Once you solve those questions on your own, you'll gain a confidence. And secondly, you can just go and check your answers with the suggested answers to see if your analysis is correct or not. And lastly, please solve all the case scenario based questions because in exams you'll mostly get the case scenario questions. You will get a case scenario and on the basis of that you will have 2 or 3 sub questions in which firstly you will have to solve a practical part and in the next part you will have to give an analysis on it. Let's move on with the direct tax. For direct tax, firstly you need to understand the act. Once you have the conceptual understanding, then go ahead and solve the questions. In here you need to focus on the formats as well. Make sure that you write your answers very systematically in a format base. And in direct tax, whatever amounts you're writing, especially in the questions in which you have to compute the total taxable income, you need to write working notes for every amount. For example, if there is one amount which is exempt from taxation, you will have to mention it in the particulars and in the amount section you mention dash and in the working notes you have to give a reason why are you not including that amount in computing the total taxable income. So you will have to make working notes for everything and trust me, working notes carry a lot of marks in DT. Again, in DT there are various types of rates mentioned and it is very difficult for you guys to remember all the dates. So I would mention make a summary note and list down all the rates that are applicable. So it will be useful for you in this 1.5 days as well. And lastly in DT, do not skip international taxation part. International taxation carries around 30 marks and it is a very scoring part. So make sure that you have some extra focus on international taxation because it will help you to score good marks. Now let's move on to IDT. So in IDT there are 2 parts, GST and custom. Firstly, do not skip customs. Customs is very important and it carries a very good weightage. So if you want to score exemption in IDT, make sure that you do customs very well. Nextly, in GST also you need to have a conceptual understanding and you need to do some writing practice. GST is a comparatively easier part. I mean, it is not as difficult as direct tax and this is a scoring subject, so make sure you practice it very well. This is a subject that can help you in your aggregate. So make sure that you aim for exemption in IDT. In IDT, there are certain chapters like assessment, audit, inspection, etc. These are the chapters which people usually ignore and leave it on option, thinking that they are theory chapters and they are not as important. But that is wrong. They carry a good amount of weightage, so please make sure that you do those chapters as well. And in customs especially, you will always have a question on valuation and chapters like baggage. So have some extra focus on that area. And lastly, for elective paper, so in elective I had economic law as my elective, so I'll talk about economic law. Firstly, it is a law subject, so you will never get a question which is outside the law. Whatever questions are formed, it will be in the act itself. For elective, make sure that you make a perfect master index. If you're starting your preparation right now, For economic law, firstly read the chapter. Side by side, you need to make your master index, and every time you read the chapter, wherever you feel that this point is important, just mark it with a highlighter. Once you're done reading all the chapters, next step is to go and solve the papers. Take up any past paper, take up your master index, read the questions, and try to find out the answers by linking it to the master index. Just make sure that your mapping of the module and master index should be extremely perfect, because that will save a lot of time in the exam hall. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys liked the video. If you guys have any questions, please make sure to comment down in the comment section, and I'll make sure that all your queries are answered. I hope you guys liked the video. If you guys liked it, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much for watching the video.